Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you are tuning in live at this time. Hold on, guys. I am hoping. Wait one quick second. Cause I got hold on. We going in here. Okay. Hold on. All right. So I think. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Wait a minute. We got to see what's going on because this is, hey, Miss Tanya, y'all, I'm doing something that's totally new and I got to figure out how in the world. Let me see. Okay, so hopefully this is going on okay. Hold on, we're gonna just discard this. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all in 1 second. Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I think is supposed to be happening, but I don't know if it's actually happening because this is actually some great news. If I got this right, I'm excited to share this with y'all. So y'all just be patient with me as y'all come in the room. Be patient, be patient. Let's see if I'm live. Hold on. I know I'm live to y'all, but y'all give me 1 second. I don't know. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to wait and see once it's over if I did it or not. Okay, so let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. Shut up, Elder. Hush, hush. Leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone. Okay. So let me tell you what I'm messing up. Let me tell you what I'm messing up. So let me put this here. Okay. So, StreamYard, for those of you who all use StreamYard, leave me alone. For those of y'all who use StreamYard, I don't even know if I did my exact introduction. So let me first address that, then I'll come back and I'll come on for real, for real. For those of you who use StreamYard, um, they just announced that you can now go live on Instagram from StreamYard. And for those of us who are simulcasters, that is huge news. Okay. So I am a simulcaster, that been a simulcaster for a very long time. And let me tell y'all how long I have been simulcasting. How many remember if I say the word Periscope? How many of you guys remember the platform Periscope? Okay, so Periscope before there was a, let me see, definitely before there was a TikTok. I'm trying to think of how old Periscope was. Periscope was out for a minute, okay? But listen, here's the point. Before Facebook was doing Facebook Lives, you had Periscope. One of the reasons why Facebook started doing Facebook Lives was so that they could be a contender because Facebook did not always go live, okay? So I've been going live that long. So the point is, hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me be official first. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you all are tuning into this broadcast. I am your international award winning author and filmmaker and empowerment specialist, Tennille M. Jackson. I want to welcome you guys to Get in Alignment with Your Assignment, the show where we talk everything to do with purpose. That's what we discuss. Today, it will be no different. But before I jump into that, hush, hush, Kevin. Listen, I'm trying to tell you before I jump into that. Let me tell y'all, for those of you who were on when I was first coming on, okay. StreamYard, if you are a content creator, specifically if you are a content creator that uses StreamYard to simulcast or to broadcast, one of the reasons why StreamYard is so incredible, you can come on wherever. We got to get you on. Just let me know when you want to come on. Seat is already ready for you. You know, that seat, I hit that link in the inbox and you the link and you come on anytime. But listen, so as a content creator, one of the things that you desire to do is the reason why you create content is because you're trying to reach people, right? And so StreamYard was wonderful when it first came out because it allows you to naturally simulcast. Before there was a StreamYard, y'all, let me tell you what your girl was doing. So I had a couple of tablets, I had a phone, I had a laptop. Like you sure can. You can play play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But listen, okay. So like I would have one tablet that would be on Periscope, one tablet that was doing I want to say like was I doing YouTube, one tablet that was doing, because at a point you could not live, you couldn't stream from LinkedIn. LinkedIn did not allow streaming, y'all. So again, the point is this is a beautiful day to be a content creator. StreamYard announced that guess what? Now you can go live, you can stream live with Instagram. That is so huge. We're still working out the kinks, y'all, because so it's not perfect yet, but they are still working it out. So it's like when you do StreamYard, and I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with StreamYard, if you're familiar with how it goes. But basically, in your back office, you can choose which destinations you want to, use. So if it's Facebook, you can go from Facebook, so your profile page. If you have groups, you can use it. You can go live within groups. You can go live using whatever your YouTube is. You can do LinkedIn, y'all, and now you can do Instagram. That is so huge because, again, for those of you who, you're starting to go live, and I am working on the course that's called Overcoming My Facebook Fears, but I'm going to have to like expand it to just saying live at large. Listen, it's going to work, Kevin, because it just got announced today. And like literally, I just saw the announcement as I was logging on. And so I haven't had a chance to play around with it yet, but I was doing it. But what I have to figure out is because, okay, so when you do the going live, and y'all, I'm finna finish this tech conversation because I know it's probably gonna miss some people, and I ain't trying to get y'all turned off from this. But when you are in the back office with StreamYard and you choose your destinations, normally once you just synchronize your page, whatever platform you're using with StreamYard, is one and done. However, with Instagram, what's happening is you have to go to Instagram and you have to put in, you have to literally go to your page, and it has to be a professional page only. So if you have a personal page, you're going to have to go in your profile and change it so that it will be a professional page. So once you do that, so you have to be on a desktop, go to Instagram from your desktop, hit create, hit go live. Once you hit go live, it's going to give you a stream key. You then take that stream key and you put it into your into StreamYard. So then you should be able to go live from that. The problem that I was having was that I was getting feedback from Instagram because I don't want it to stay on Instagram. I want to be able to stay on StreamYard, but just activate it, if that makes sense. So you're having two tabs open at the same time. Bottom line is, I'm not sure if I did it right this first time, but now that I know that this is what we're doing, guess who's going to be playing with this over the weekend? Anyway, all right. So y'all, let's talk about purpose. Let's talk about purpose. Plus, I have another announcement that I want to make. I got a major announcement to make too. But today, if you guys are joining me, so whether you are joining me from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, then hello. Please be sure to observe my 3 rules of protocol. Number 1, say hello so that way I can speak back. Number 2, like and share the video. And then number 3, tag somebody that you believe would benefit from this broadcast. And who would benefit from today's broadcast? Anybody who is questioning their purpose, right? Anybody who's like on the fence about whether or not what they do matters, right? Because sometimes, we get to a point where we need to be encouraged. I don't care who you are, everybody has a point in their life where they need to be encouraged. And so this is going to be a way to encourage everybody. This is going to be a quick word to encourage everybody. Um, Understand that no matter what your purpose is, first of all, we talk about purpose all the time, and purpose is not always accompanied by a title, right? And a lot of times that's a mistake that we make. And I said that in a previous video. Purpose is not always a title, and it's not always, we think that like every day it has to be like this huge thing, this let me go and walk the moon, or let me, like if it's not gonna be something that gets 50 million people watching it, then it's not perfect. That's not the case. Understand that every day you wake up, there is something else that you are purposed to do. Sometimes your purpose could just be to give somebody an encouraging word, right? Like you can get up and whether somebody you had a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh my God, I really needed this, or I was feeling really bad, and listening to you or talking to you helped make me feel better. That was your purpose. That was your assignment for the day. Sometimes it could be, as deep as what you were meant to do with your life, right? But for today, I want to kind of just break it down to just being daily. Like every day, there is a purpose that you serve. And I know that I have some people that follow me and they've said, Tennille, I still don't really know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm here for. And I will just encourage you, while you're yet searching for your purpose, if it has still yet to be revealed, understand that just because it has not been revealed does not mean that you have not tapped into it, right? And today, what I really kind of want to talk about is how your purpose is able to affect others, how your purpose, how you walking in your purpose, how that is able to affect others. And admittedly, just thinking about this title, it was inspired from on last night. So y'all know I do a lot. And I am not only am I the chairwoman of the Green Party, and we had a meeting last night, Cook County Green Party, and we had a meeting last night, but a good girlfriend of mine, Aretha Tatum, she was hosting an event. She is the writer, producer, creator of a series called Seasoned. And Seasoned started out as a short film, and it has evolved. Now, I don't even want to say transition. It has evolved because she went from it being a short film to making it like a series, right? So you can stream it. It's now streaming on Tubi and all of that. And so from that, she's gotten so many people involved with it, and it's been able to inspire different people. And so, anyway, the point is, last night she was doing a showcase. It was series the showcase. It was a Christmas showcase type situation. And I had the pleasure of being in attendance and just looking around and seeing the effects of what her work was. And I'll talk a little bit more about that right after this.
Hard to find a man your age. And only some of you look good enough to even get a younger man.
Do I sing? I don't play games, and that is a fact, cause I'm a seasoned woman, and I ain't got time for that.
There's not a virus or a vaccine that could change the will of God.
I live my life for everyone, now I'm living it for me.
So that's just a glimpse. If you guys have not already, go to Tubi, download the movie Seasoned. And again, I'm sorry, it's not a movie, it's a series. So you can just go to Tubi, and there are some episodes of Season the series on Tubi. But the point is for me, hey Brandon, hey Lisa, hey Precious, hello to everybody that is tuning in, will tune in. Hello to all of you guys. Again, this show is not going to be long today. I just want to kind of hop in with this message, because here's the thing. When we operate in our purpose, there are going to be times when we might get discouraged, because I think sometimes we feel that walking in purpose is supposed to always be easy, and that's not the case. Or we feel that when it becomes difficult that maybe it's not our purpose. And that's not the case either, right? Like, we are going to be met by obstacles. Some of the times the reason why we are met by opposition is because the enemy is getting angry with us because of how many people are being affected, right? And so again, when I say how many people, understand that it's not just all about, being viral or be having like a billion people fan base. Like, it's also who it is that you are affecting, because you could be in a room with, say, maybe 5 or 10 people. You don't know who those 5 or 10 people are and who they will go on to affect and impact. And so when I'm talking about like your effect, I think about, because I've known Aretha for almost 10 years now, and I knew Aretha before she was making films. I knew her when she was, quote unquote, just an author. And I saw how God transitioned her from being an author to now making short films. And then she went from making short films to being a producer for making this series. And the point that I'm making is, like, when you are a creative, one of the beautiful parts of that purpose is seeing the types of people that you're able to impact. So like, as an author, a lot of times, you're impacting the people who read your books, and maybe you don't always get a chance to see those people, but in your heart, hey, regardless of it's 1 or a million, when somebody reads my words, that's going to impact them. As a singer, Cypher Sick Bishop is he is a rapper, right? And so like, it's that same type of thing. He says, walking in my purpose this year has inspired and motivated so many. It also has come with its fair share of obstacles. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. So he is a rapper, and the people, so I believe that, when he's in the studio, whether he's performing live or not, when he's penning his raps, it's like, okay, he's thinking about who's going to be impacted by his words, whether he sees them or not. Because again, as an artist, you may not always see everybody that you're impacting, because or I'll say it like this, unless you're doing live shows. So you don't know who all is streaming it. Like, I'm sure his music has been streamed some of everywhere. You don't get to see, you get to see the numbers. So you might get to see, okay, 1 million people done listen to it in, this country, that country, without ever actually getting to see and meet those people that it's impacting. But with what Aretha has done with Seasoned, first of all, she has very brilliantly, and I'm talking about this like Aretha is my guest today, y'all. Aretha ain't here. She don't even know that I'm talking about this show. But again, and that even speaks to your impact, where people are talking about you even when you're not aware, right? Like, the effect is a lasting effect. And so with Season, she was very intentional in who her audience is. The audience is for, is 50 and over, right? So that's what her little thing, she'll say rated 50 and over. And so like, mostly all of the actors, probably like 90% of the cast, they're over 50. And last night she did a showcase. And so it brings back all the people who've ever been in the show. So first of all, you have to understand that everybody that's in that cast, this may not, like, the entertainment world may not be their everyday thing, right? Like, some of them are naturally like in the entertainment world, but some of them have 9 to 5s, and they come over to the entertainment entrepreneurial world to just do this, and it brings such a joy to them. So it's like, it's not even just the cast that her being obedient to her purpose is touching. So it's like, yeah, the people that she brings on, the actors, the actresses, even like the casting directors and producers and all of that stuff. And I've been fortunate enough to be a producer on a couple of her other projects, whereas I understand the good feeling that comes with being connected to that. But last night, y'all, like, to be in the room. Now, I will say this, because of my meeting, I was jetting over. I was on the south side, but she was far south at South Suburban College. So it started at I think at like 7:30. My meeting went over till 7:30. So I'm like getting over. By the time I got there, I was there in time for intermission. But just in the last, I think, hour or so that I was able to see, to be in that room and to see, first of all, she was able to bring in some seniors, some actual seniors from an assisted living facility. She donated their seats to be there, to be able to witness that. That in and of itself was huge, because we all know, or at least know of, people who live in those type of facilities. And a lot of times they don't necessarily have people that's there, that's caring about them, that is giving them the opportunity to come out and have something to enjoy, right? And so they got an opportunity to interact with that. But then just everybody else, because the room was packed. And, around holiday time too, you have a lot of times where people are grieving. And in fact, I'll be on this coming Wednesday. Joyce A. Graham, she has a grieving purpose line. I think it is. It's like a grieving recovery line. And I'll be on talking about grief and grieving during the holidays, because for a lot of people, it's real. Like, a lot of people are not able to be so joyful because life has been lifing so hard. And so for her purpose to extend beyond herself, beyond just the cast, and to open it up to where if you came in that room, you were impacted, right? Like, I just thought that it was such a beautiful thing. Bishop says people talk about you in rooms you aren't even in. That's when you know you've made an impact. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Because if you are walking in your purpose sincerely, then it's not always about trying to get receipts, right? And look, before y'all come at me from the business angle, I get it. I understand. You ain't doing business just, a lot of people say, well, this ain't a nonprofit thing, so there's nothing wrong with me making money. I'm not against that. But what I'm saying is, when you are really focused on purpose, the money will come. It's not like, well, okay, if I don't make at least this, then I'm going to stop walking in my purpose. Like, when you are walking in purpose, on purpose, then you understand, once you do what you're supposed to do, it's like a let the chips fall where they may type of a thing, right? Like, once I come in and I do my thing, whatever my thing may be. So if your thing is speaking, singing, writing, acting, whatever your thing is, you come in your purpose, on purpose, then it's like, whether you get a chance to physically talk to everybody that you touch, whether you get a chance to do that or not, in your soul, I've touched somebody. And I'm just saying, last night was an opportunity where you got to physically see the people that you're touching. And it's not like it was simply limited to those that were in the room, but it definitely impacted the people who were in the room. And that's why, like, if we even intertwine this conversation with stuff that I like, just talking about earlier this week, I was talking about live events in the show Aspects of Entrepreneurship and the importance of doing live events, because I think that even beyond the dollars that you may get from putting on a show, I think you get something much more. And also, you have to understand, I'm a person who really does things for the intrinsic value of it, how it makes me feel on the inside. So it's like, for me, when I do my gala, and I think about that because that's my annual event that I do, and you get to see how that affects people, it encourages you like no dollar amount ever could, right? Like, there is a smile, there's a joy that comes with that no amount of money could give you. And so I encourage you guys, again, for those of you who are walking in your purpose, maybe you have not hit your target amounts yet, right? Like whether you wrote the book, you did the song, you wrote the play, whatever it might be, maybe you have not hit your target financial goals yet. But I encourage you to look at the purpose beyond the goal. Look at the purpose beyond the money and see what's happening as a result. Like, and put yourself in a place so that you can see it, right? So in other words, don't just like write the book, but you never give yourself any shows to do, because then you minimize your purpose to simply the tangible. And I believe that when we walk in purpose, it's a combination of the tangible and the intangible. And I believe that the intangible is powerful enough to keep you going and keep you motivated until the tangible comes into effect, until the tangible begin to manifest, right? So it's like, if I write this book and I put the book out for the world, and all I'm doing is looking at my reports, you know, if I have it listed on Amazon and I'm looking to see how many books did it sell, how many times did it move, right? And if all I see is that in a month's time, you know, I sold 2 books, I sold 4 books, whatever, in a month's time, that might be something that would make me, you know, think, well, should I be doing this? Or it's not really impacting anybody to just, you know, all I did was sell 3 or 4 copies. But if you took that same effort and you put together an event, a live event, and maybe the live event only had 25, 30 people there, and in that same room, you only sold 3 or 4 books, only sold 3 or 4 books, it's going to hit differently, guaranteed. Guaranteed is going to hit differently, because most times when you're in a room, people are going to, even if they don't say it, you can see on their faces, you can see on their faces that you're impacting them. So that's already gonna like hit you here. But then you'll get people that be like, you know what? I am bringing the money with me or today, or I didn't know about it today, but I'm definitely gonna look you up or whatever. So there are some leads that's in that room. Even if they don't do that, even if it is just the 3 or 4 people who buy, right? When you interact with those 3 or 4 people, there are going to be words that they're probably going to say to you that's going to make you feel like, oh my God, like what you said really moved me, or what you sang, or your, you know, whatever it is that brings them out. What's the reason for their being there? Like, when you're able to interact with them, it motivates you in a way that keeps you going, where you understand that this thing is so much bigger than me. You know, it's not just like, yeah, God may have entrusted me with the gift, but the delivery of it is so, it's going to impact so many more than just you. Like, you might be looking at it from the purpose of, let me just check it off my, you know, it's checked off my to-do list, but it could actually end up changing somebody else's life. And so anyway, y'all, I'm going to just show y'all one more time this clip of the series Seasoned. If you have not already done so, please go to Tubi and download it and watch it today.
Hard to find a man your age. And only some of you look good enough to even get a younger man.
Do I sing? I don't play games, and that is a fact, 'cause I'm a seasoned woman, and I ain't got time for that.
There's not a virus or a vaccine that could change the will of God.
I live my life for everyone, now I'm living it for me.
So, y'all, in essence, that is the show today. Be sure that you are walking in your purpose, walk in purpose, on purpose, and understand that the goals that you hit, that you make for yourself, you know, y'all know how I feel about the goals versus plans thing, but this whole another show for another day. But understand that you have to learn how to give yourself grace Like every time you make a goal for yourself, you may think that, okay, well, I should have done it in 3 months. Okay, well, what if you don't? Does that make you a failure? Does that make your work any more or less impactful? Or does it just mean that maybe I just need a little bit more time to get it done? And so when you're doing what you know that your purpose to do, over time, like you start learning that everything it doesn't happen in your time, but everything will happen in God's time, right? And so, like, that's how come it's important to be committed to your purpose, because it may not always be what you thought it was going to be. And especially for those of you who are walking in purpose for the first time, meaning, like, if you've never been a singer, an artist, an author, a filmmaker, if you've never done these things before, like, where do you get it that, okay, I should be done reach this level within this time frame? Like, who said that? Like, a lot of times we put ourselves under unnecessary pressure and stress, and that pressure and stress doesn't allow us to really enjoy the journey. And I really feel like the older that I get, the more that I understand how important it is to enjoy the journey. Like, the fact that success is not a destination. You don't just wake up one day and it happens. It happens over a series of days, over the course of time. And whatever success means to you, it's the same. It happens over time. So don't despise the journey, trying to just focus on getting to the end destination. Embrace every day. As Tyler Perry says, never losses, it's always lessons. So whenever something, even if it doesn't pan out the way you thought that it would, what is it that taught you? Don't harp on, oh my God, I'm a failure and I can't believe. No, use that, put it in your arsenal, and repurpose it so that it'll catapult you somewhere even further. But that has been the show today, guys. Y'all, next week will be the last week of 2023 for the Educated Empowered podcast. I am going to be taking the next 2 weeks off. So next week, I'll be live Monday through Friday, y'all. Next week, I'll be live Monday through Friday. The week of Christmas, I don't know that I will be. And the New Year, I probably won't, because y'all know my last baby is a New Year's baby. So for the Jackson household, October, November, December, and January, that is birthday season. So after January 1st, and y'all, my baby is about to be 18. Can you believe it? Got one more under her, but this one is about to be 18. So those 2 weeks, the week of Christmas, the week of New Year's, I probably will not. If I come on, it'll be sketchy, but after next week, the goal is to be live every day, Monday through Friday. You'll get it all new at 2. And then we'll be on hiatus for 2 weeks, and we will come back in the new year, January 8th. Y'all, I love y'all so much. I appreciate you so much more. And so don't forget to, if you have a business, product, or service, and you would like for me to push your purpose, you want for me to do that on my podcast, then really think about becoming a sponsor. And if you are interested in being a sponsor, then be sure, hello, Miss Shalonda, then be sure to hit me up if you are interested in being a sponsor on the show. And even if you are interested in being a guest on the show, you can do that as well. So if you're interested in sponsorship or being a sponsor or a guest, then you can send an email to TennilleJackson@yahoo.com. And just for that overall sponsorship information, I'm going to leave it up at the end of the show. But thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, you all stay inspired.